December 29th, Northern Colorado. Look at this. It's almost 50 degrees Fahrenheit outside. I just had to get the bike out for a quick spin, and I figured this would be a great time to kind of go down a list. I compiled everything that I've added onto the Tenere 700 so far, the cost. Most of these things are already on the bike. Some are still sitting on a rack in the shack. And a bit of a wish list, kind of the last few things I want to add on to the bike, which may or may not happen, depending on the total of this cost so far. Most of these things I would consider upgrades, some necessary, some maybe not so necessary. I like how the guys at Mad TV, I believe they are from the land down under, they call all this stuff Farkles, little add-ons to the bike. I'm taking a little bit of a shortcut up to Carter Lake. We'll stop by the water somewhere and I'll show you everything that I added on so far. But let's go ahead and go down the list that I compiled. I'll start off with the Camel ADV products. Now, I'm not sponsored by these guys. All of these products I handpicked and paid for. Camel ADV one finger clutch, which is a new clutch actuator above the clutch basket here. What this does, it expands that friction zone, gets rid of that on-off feel, which is pretty much clutch in, clutch out, and you're engaged. Gives you a much wider friction zone, more control. You can feather the clutch much easier. Highly recommend that product. $69 off their website. Next is the anti-bobble, which are these two rods right here, and it gets rid of that crazy bobble these dash displays have on the first gen Teneres. $69 from Camel ADV as well. Up next is the rear brake fix. Now this one I was really impressed with. The stock rear brake pedal on this thing is terrible. It feels like a sponge all the way down. You're really not engaging the rear brake at all, and all of a sudden it locks up on you. Here you have a beautiful compression of the brake, and you can actually feel that brake doing what it's supposed to do all the way down until lockup. The rear brake fix was $149. Up next we have the turn signals. LEDs, aftermarket, $99 for the whole kit off of the Camel ADV website. There are cheaper options, but I decided just to go with this kit. Makes it easy. They include the turn signals, the adapters you'll need, as well as the little relay, which is pretty much keeps the turn signal speed a regular speed. It's not gonna go crazy on you. If you install the new LEDs without that relay, you're just gonna get a faster turn signal. Not a huge deal. I mean, what's nice about the kit, you get everything you need, 99 bucks, and you're done. What do we have up next? Gas cap seal, which is pretty much just a rubber gasket, extra rubber gasket that goes under the gas cap. These are kind of flimsy. If you have a tank bag on tip over and it presses down on this cap, you're gonna get gas spilling out. So I figured just go ahead and grab that while I'm ordering other stuff off the website. 12 bucks. Okay, here comes a big one. The gut guard skid plate from Camel ADV. $359. Yep, a little steep, but what made me go with this one is, if you ever watch these guys' videos, they bash the hell out of their bikes. And I figured, you know what, it's been proven from the way those guys ride, and it has a rear linkage, the rear linkage coverage as well. I was gonna go with Tusk because of the price point, but it doesn't have the rear linkage protection, as well as the Camel ADV skid plate has an extra 5th mounting point right in front of the linkage, which just gives you more support once you're bashing stuff on the trail. Just pull over here for a second and we'll go over the rest of the items on the list. Sand. Some of these items aren't on the bike just yet, I did buy some aftermarket hand guards. I went with the Sycra off Amazon. They were on a discount from original $147. I got them at $117. We'll be installing those in a few weeks. In the rear, I purchased the Tusk Tail Tidy off of Amazon through Rocky Mountain ATV MC. $66. For some reason it was cheaper through Amazon than directly through their website. On the left side of the bike, the nice CNC shift stabilizer, which actually, it does help in the shifting. I paid $25 for that. Nice CNC was nice enough to send me some of their aftermarket pegs, as well as a shift lever. For crash bars, I'm with the Adventure Spec. Not on the bike just yet. The Rival were already on here, and the Adventure Spec protects the upper portion of the bike, so I went with those. Also very lightweight aluminum. Items already on the bike when I purchased it. The Rival engine guards, $220 off their website. Seat Concept seat, $350, $365 off their website. And it had this aftermarket muffler on here as well. Akrapovic sticker stuck onto a cheap eBay muffler for $128. Found that out a few weeks later, so mixed feelings about that, but you live, you learn. So total cost on the bike so far, I paid $9,000 for it. It had about 1,600 miles when I bought it. It's got about 2,000 on currently. All the aftermarket goodies that I paid for, $1,291, bringing the total to $10,291. So the muffler sounds okay. I'm gonna leave it. They're super expensive for this bike. Now the wish list. The wish list is aftermarket suspension. I looked at multiple options. I'm just drooling over the rally raid setup with the 25mm extra travel for the rear and front. We're talking $2,500. So if I put that on the bike, I'm definitely not gonna recoup any of that money. As the bike sits now, I could probably still squeeze close to $10,000 out of it. Maybe in the springtime if I decide to sell it. If I will keep this bike though, I will have to do something about the suspension. I am weighing in at about 200 pounds currently, and the spring rates on this one, I believe, are for like 170 pound rider. And I'm getting beat to hell if I'm going a little bit harder off-road. So possibly stronger spring rates, or just go all out and get that rally raid. So we'll see what the future holds for this bike. I don't have enough seat time on it to really tell if this is the bike for next season or not. I only put a couple hundred miles on it, and it's mostly pavement, which this bike wasn't designed for pavement, although I do love how it feels on the highway. I need some more hours, some more miles off-road to make my decision. Will I go all out and just get stupid on spending money on this thing? Well, we'll see. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one.